Llévate más de lo que esperas todos los días con el nuevo McValue en McDonald's. Ahora puedes comprar uno y sumarle otro por $1. Así que cuando tu equipo favorito enfrente a sus rivales, enfrenta tus antojos con $5 Meal Deals. Y si estás corriendo para alcanzar el desayuno, corre al app para llevarte ofertas antes del cutoff. Tú decides, y con McValue, tu decisión siempre rinde más. Precios y participación pueden variar. BOGO $1 válido para un producto de igual o menor valor. Debe estar registrado en Rewards para ofertas en el app.
This episode of The Price of Football is supported by International Sports Convention 2025, which is taking place on March the 19th and 20th at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. More than 1,000 delegates and 100 speakers will be attending the event, and they'll be covering a huge range of topics, from sponsorship and fan engagement to governance and integrity. Founded in 2009, International Sports Convention is the meeting place for the business of sport and has been for the last 16 years.
And there's a special treat for those lucky enough to attend the 2025 edition. The two of us will also be appearing. We'll be having a chat about football finance and governance in front of a live audience. You can book your place now at a special early offer price by going to internationalsportsconvention.com. But don't delay, that special early offer price is only available until the 20th of February.
Book your place now for International Sports Convention 2025 at Spurs Stadium on the 19th and 20th of March by going to internationalsportsconvention.com, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is Taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
Hello and welcome to The Price of Football, the show that looks at the money behind the beautiful game with me, Kevin Day, and Liverpool University's Kieran Maguire, or Kieran, should I say, hola, and welcome to The Price of Football. Unfortunately, that's my Spanish out on hola. Because we have an interview, we've got a break with tradition, Kieran, because normally we record the pod and then we do a little jokey thing when we do the interview pod about how we've just spoken, but we're doing the interview bit first before we record the pod. So we'll have to keep that for the next. I was just getting very confusing. It's an interview day, Kieran, and we've just 5 minutes ago. Let's put the phone down. That'd be refreshingly old-fashioned, wouldn't it? We just press the stop record button on. I better not say the platform we're recording on, Kieran, because Guy will tell us off that we didn't then mention all the other platforms that are available. But we had one of our interviews. And it's with Rafa Sáenz, who's Chief Financial Officer at Osasuna, which is one of La Liga's 100% fan-owned clubs. And it's always fascinating, Kieran, to get an insight into how football works elsewhere. Rafael was no exception. And this is what he had to say. Rafael, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for you and for the opportunity to be here with you also.
Good. Before we discuss the remarkable story of Osasuna in the past 10 years, could you tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to be the Chief Finance Officer at the club?
Of course. I want to say that the first thing is I am from this city, from Pamplona. Okay, Osasuna is the team of Pamplona and also of the region of Navarra here in Spain. But also I have a lot of experience before in different countries like USA, like Mexico, Brazil. I was in a logistic company, server, and the main clients, our customer were automotive customers, Inditex, and so on. And 8 months ago, I had a call from the president and from the CEO of this club saying that they needed a CFO here in the club. And I joined two things: dream plus work. I was a little bit afraid because I said, okay, finance is finance. I think that finance can be the same if you work in a logistics company, in a I don't know, grocery company, but in the sports side, in the sports world, I was quite afraid of how can I balance this between being everyone being happy on the fan side and being okay on the finance side. So it was an opportunity for me with 32 years old. I could never say not to that. Was impossible for me because I am from Osasuna. I am a fan of Osasuna, and was also a challenge and a thing that I had to think about. But I was very very convinced about this offer that they had.
Two very famous queens of England came from Navarre. Do you know that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yes,
Berengaria,
yes.
who married Richard I, and Joan of Navarre, who married Henry IV. Very famous Navarre.
Correct. You are taking me to the history part. I am not much expert about that, but I know that. I know also about guys from England that came here and were quite important here in
Yeah,
Pamplona. I
yeah,
know a lot of England people that know San Fermin's fest or show, and this also proud for us that our city and our region is getting more and more known around the world,
yeah.
and Osasuna is part of that. Is a big part of that.
Well, it's become an even bigger part recently, but 11 years ago, 2014, the club were in very, very big financial trouble. Could you explain to us what went wrong back then?
Yeah, that's the start point for us. Okay, let's say 2014. That was when Osasuna came in a big crisis. Almost we were in the we were in a critical situation, in a medical situation. In the finance side, we had experience with the other the former president and their managers. And with that, we had the situation of being in a very huge problem in the financial side, with a big debt, with the different public statements of Spain and of the region. Okay, and at that point, uh, our actual president, Luis Sabalza, okay, that is the actual president because he's here from 10 years now. He was the one that said, okay, Osasuna can never die. We are all from Osasuna. We see in every single city or town of our region, Rojillos shirt from Osasuna. So we need to keep this club alive, and we need to solve this problem. So they found a big, a very huge hole in the financial side, almost 40 million euros, and we had to pay both one in a cash side with the financial loans and everything that we are still paying some of them, and also giving as a part of the payment our stadium El Sadar and our sports academy that is known as Tajonar, okay, where we have the young future training every single day. That was a huge and a very hard situation for us. That was very difficult for us to face. But with the president that is right now the actual president, with a good management, we are we were able to find a solution, and step by step, and don't have a worry, everything in our head. We are going in to a successful life, and and we are now in a quite comfortable situation in the financial side after 10 years. Okay.
So, just to clarify, Raphael, the huge amount of money that you owed at that
Yeah.
time, was that debt to the Spanish government? Was it to La Liga, or was it to the government of Navarre?
Well, here in Spain we have, and in Navarre we have two ways. Okay, the first one is paying to the Navarra government or region. Okay, and after that they distribute in a percentage that is a legal way to do the things to the Spanish central government. Okay, so our debt was primarily, and the main and the only one was with the Navarre's government. Was not with the Liga. Was indirectly, let's say, with the Spanish government, but the principal and our, let's say, our debt was with Navarre's government, and
And
this
now,
also
sorry,
in a part.
you've now done so well. You've regained your stadium and the sports ground, I understand, and you've started to rebuild the stadium.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's totally understood from your side. That was part of the deal with the government. We had to do that because we didn't have any more assets than these two, and the cash that we could give with a loan with different banks. So after that, we do a very huge and attractive and aggressive rebuild of our stadium. But this rebuild is property of Osasuna. That is important to say. Okay, right now, over 100% of our Tajonar site is 30% of that is, or 35 is uh, re is again is again of Osasuna. Okay, is not more for of the government. We repaid, we paid for that, and on the Sadar side, the stadium is from the government, but uh, the rebuild and the huge increase that gave us the opportunity to be the best stadium, named the best stadium in 2021, is property of Osasuna. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I'll bring Kieran in here, Raphael, because Kieran, you always say in England that it's crucial that a club owns its stadium, essentially. So presumably that goes for the rest of the world as well, doesn't it?
Yes, I think the benefits of having your own stadium, as Raphael was saying, you can use it 365 days a year for what you want to use it for, subject to approval from the local authorities for non-football activities. You're going to get 100% of the profits from catering and the megastore, rather than having to franchise them out, or you inherit them as part of the local authorities. Certainly, when I've been to some stadiums elsewhere in the world which are owned by the local municipality, the football stadium might not be a priority, and that's understandable. But it does mean that the facilities start to look dated very quickly. And I think the advantage of owning your own stadium is that you can identify 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 most important things that we want to develop, and then provide the funding for it, as opposed to that decision being made by bureaucrats, civil servants, government officials, all of whom might be very well meaning, but they won't necessarily know what's best for a football club.
Raphael, you've turned around an amazing debt. You've paid off a lot of money. Can I ask how the club raised the money to turn the club's fortunes around?
yeah, I can. First, I want to answer or to Yeah, to complete Kieran's affirmation, because I think that is very very clear in his comment, and I want to give him an answer. Everything that we do here in the stadium, like the rebuild and what we achieve with more capacity, with the commercial sites, with everything, is uh, owned by Osasuna and is managed by Osasuna. We have 30 years warranty to use the stadium, okay, free, without paying any kind of loan or anything. So anybody can be here, or nobody can be here until 2044. And that's not an that's a very good thing, because allow us to do things on the stadium. If not, in otherwise we didn't do or think about the rebuild or whatever. So our mission here and our idea in the border of administration and everything is to um, try to recover what was from Osasuna as soon as possible. Okay, that's our idea, and we have 20 years for work on that. But we want to do it first. Okay, that's the first point, because if not, as Kieran said, the stadium is not a priority. The stadium is not is not profitable. Is not whatever you want to say. Okay. And after that, again, Kevin, your question, sorry.
Uh, how did you raise the money to pay off this
Okay,
enormous debt?
understood. Okay, we started with a debt that was around the 40 million euros. Okay, these 40 million euros, if we see the payment that we done with the stadium with Tajonar, let's say, okay, um, and was almost 34 millions, and the rest was a debt, a loan with different banks. Okay, but right now we only have over the 40 millions. We already our actual debt is more or less 23, 24 millions in total. I'm saying in total. Okay, so we decrease that in 16 to 20 million. Okay, how did the club that did this kind of decrease or or repayment of the debt, that is a more accurate word. In one side, in 10 years of this Avanza's presidential and board of administration head, we had a 30 million EBITDA profit. So with 30 millions of EBITDA, we didn't use that money to other things. Maybe yes, to improve the stadium, for example. That was part of that, but a huge part of the earnings and the good results were every single money or a euro was destinated to decrease that loan. So with that, we could recover a 30% or 35%, as I said before, of Tajonar. So Tajonar is, I am not saying half and half, but for 35 is from Osasuna, 65 is from the government, so that is quite different right now. And El Sadar, quite itself was in a value that was much more lower in the past than right now, because we have the rebuild, we have the local commercial locals, we have our store, we have everything, and that is done. um, One, pushing and doing a very good and very straight financial following, and having good results. 30 millions in 10 years is a media of 3 million per year. for a members form club. Okay, so it's not easy to have that in the media in 10 years. And for that we look at in two different sides. One was the sports side, that was to be competitive, that has to be good results, being in first division, being in as we were in 2 years ago in the conference league also. So that is huge for us and huge for the fans, because the fans wants our winning on the Saturday or on the Sunday. And on the other side, we were very accurate on the waste. We had to find whatever is the most competitive sport club without spending more than €1. That was possible for us. That's the balance and the big challenge that we have in front of us, and in front of myself also as a CFO.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
You mentioned, Rafael, members. You are 100% owned by members, aren't you?
Correct. Yeah, that's a point that I want to focus on that, because I think that is very good and very we have a lot of advantages, but we have also some kind of let's say we are going below the other clubs that are not a members club, that are LLC. Okay, let's say in that way. In the first point, we are a members club, and that's very good for me. We are only four in Spain that we are a members form club. Okay, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Athletic Club, and Osasuna. Okay, and this members own club, we have a very limited options in the financial side. We don't have I don't know, a Qatar investment of 50 millions. We cannot expect that, with the good and bad side. And I will say after that the bad side of that, okay? Because we have examples, and I don't want to say any kind of example of teams that were with this kind of investments, and after that they are in second, third, fourth division, trying to survive and whatever. Okay, but our financial focus or financial weapons, the weapons are very limited. Let's say I have A, B, or C, and A, B, or C for me is quite clear: members, and the commitment, the fidelity. They have to feel Osasuna in their heart. Okay, that is the first and the biggest point, because they are the owners of the club, and we have almost 20K members, and 5K more that want to be members of this club, but we are trying to get more capacity in the stadium, but it's not easy to do everything at the same time. Okay, that's the first point. Navarra, Pamplona, and far from Navarra, I think so. They feel Osasuna. They are not going with Real Madrid's or Barcelona's shirt. The kids are not going with that in the parks. They are going with the Budimir shirt, or with whatever is the Osasuna's fan in the best play in that moment. Okay, and that for us the fidelity, the commitment with the club is the biggest point. The second biggest point is for us tajonar. Okay, we have to create value with our young assets. these young assets, we are investing on them also. That is our called Futuro Tajonar, the future of Tajonar. Instead, and our idea is to have a huge a huge city, let's say in that way, of different fields, different opportunities, professionals, different weapons, different skills, everything. So we can have every single year 2-3 guys from our from our Tajonar in the first division club. That is the real situation, because right now we have 2, 3, 4, or 5 guys that are titulars in the first and they come from the very beginning from Osasuna. Okay, so we have members, Tajonar. Without Tajonar, we don't have a future, and sponsors, and our idea too. And for that reason, I am speaking with you. For that reason, not only for that reason, is one of the reasons I'm speaking with you. We are creating a very. We need to show Osasuna's brand far from Navarra or maybe Spain. I say region. We have a yearly revenue quite important right now from outside, but I am sure that from Brazil that we have created a strong team of international guys in the commercial side and everything. We need to bring the name of Osasuna to other countries to feel their what we feel, and with that we are keeping growing. Is our weapon of A, B, or C.
Just to clarify, Raphael,
Yeah.
obviously you're very proud of your connections as the club in Navarre, but you think you can't really expand your market while all your sponsors are from Navarre and all your fans are from Navarre. So what? In one way, it's a wonderful thing that you have this Navarrese identity, but you want to expand the brand, for want of a better word.
I will say in a very clear way. Navarra is Osasuna. Osasuna is Navarra. That is my thing, and I am one that is from Navarra, right? And I feel Osasuna like that. But that is limited to limited part of the population and of people and everything. Okay. Right now, we had last year an increase of 100% of our international partners. Okay, I am saying Asia, Brazil, uh, other parts from Europe. Okay, that they gave us almost 2 million euros in revenue. That of course is a sponsorship. Okay, we have the counterpart, but 2 million euros for Osasuna is quite important. But I think that we can push on that and try to be more and more and more important in far from Navarra. Of course, that Navarra is our place, our city, our region. Everyone is from Osasuna, and we have to take care of our members and of our city, because they are 95% from here. But uh, our brand expansion is needed, because, as you said, if not, what is Osasuna weapon to increase members, and the capacity is done. Sponsorship is a weapon, and the TV and La Liga is getting in a decrease. Not is increasing, is decreasing, because the TV, as you well know, I don't know in England, but here in Spain, we have a very big problem with the free TV sports watching. Okay, people, instead of paying every single month the quote of whatever is operator that is giving the football match, they are seeing that for free with different illegal ways of doing that. So that is hurting La Liga, but that hurt to La Liga is hurting the rest of the clubs in the proportional side. Okay, not only Osasuna, every single one. But that's a big, let's say, cancer, and understand me in that word for us, because if we decrease in a 10%, for example, of the TV revenues in La Liga, we have a big problem that we have to solve with other weapons like sponsorship, international sponsorship, membership, and Osasuna has not Qatari sponsorships or German sponsorships. That for me is also good because we remain Osasuna as Osasuna identity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask you a bit more about the membership scheme and how it works, Raphael?
Yeah.
Before, and then I want to bring Kieran in on this as well. How much does it cost to be a member of Osasuna?
Okay. We have the renewal every single season before the start of the season in June. July is the month of renewal. Okay. More or less depends on the point that on the type of membership that you have. Okay, it's not the same to see the football in the last corner that to see the football in a very good position. But let's say in a big term, okay, in media like 350 euros a year. Okay, that includes every single game that Osasuna plays here in El Sadar. Okay, and we made a little increase this year between this year and the last year, and our fidelity and our renewal was a 99%. So one 990 people were renewed automatically in the first 10-15 days. Automatically, no, they were there and they were paying. They wanted Osasuna, and for that reason, I am saying to you that we have 5,000 people wanting to be members, and if some member cannot be on the match, give free the for that game his membership. We have a line so we can be fair with the rest, and more than that, we keep the fidelity and the commitment with the club of this 5k or more than 5k people, with some other things that we can give to them, experiences like visiting the El Sadar, visiting Tajonar, giving them on Christmas box with I don't know, some kind of shirts or things from Osasuna that they can use. So we try to keep everything, every single one as much happy as possible, as much committed as possible, and of course we want our mission is to grow and we have a plan to increase the capacity, and our dream is give to whatever is fan from Osasuna the opportunity to be member and to see an Osasuna match every single weekend.
Yeah. And do you consult members on big decisions, or do they trust you to make the decisions on their behalf?
That's a very good question, and I think that is very important to say that. If I said before that we are a members-owned club of almost 20,000 members, we have every single year an assembly, okay, where we defend every single thing about our financial statements, our idea, our future of rebuild as El Sadar, as you said before, or I don't know, invest on Tajonar. So members in that day, they can say, because they can know, they have to say because they are members, that as I am a member of Osasuna, so I can The consult is obviously a thing that is a must thing because they are the owners of the club as I am. Okay, that is one side. After the big decisions, okay, that we cannot do by ourselves and or the board of administration itself or the operative guys that we are here every single day. I mean, let's say an example. Saying that we show our forecast for next year. Okay, we show our financial statements of last year, audited. Okay, we have an economical control division that they audit. That this commission was created after 2014 disaster. Okay, so we have three auditors: La Liga, the official auditor, and five guys that are members of the club that they follow our accounts in a monthly basis. But if we want to, I don't know, this winter market, we want to sell a player or to buy a player or to search what kind of operation that with our goal of being in the point of what was said in the assembly, being competitive, wanting to be in the first division, that is a must for us because if, going to the second division of the Spanish La Liga is a very hard thing for a team like us. These kind of decisions, being with and there is where I am the bad guy. I am the police, and I say to the sports that they are very good. The sports department, they are very good because they have to think a lot more than the ones that have a lot of millions to spend on. Okay, we have that. We can spend until that, not more than this money, because if not, we are going to have a problem, or we are not going to be able to use this player because we don't have the money to pay him. So this kind of decisions is more in the day by day of Osasuna, but following the standards that were named in the assembly that we have in a yearly base. Okay.
Yeah, you've been named as the most financially transparent club in La Liga, which made Kieran very happy because Kieran is always talking about the importance of transparency when it comes to accounts.
We were named a month ago, more or less, the most transparent team of La Liga with 92% of transparency. Okay, if you go to our link of Osasuna.es, you can see everything. You can see our financial statements. You are going to see the intermediary statements when we have it after the close of December, between July and December, because you know that the football is between July and June. So we are going to show that. If someone asks about why did you buy this player, the control commission is coming here and seeing every single contract. Of course, and that is very important to say, keeping the confidentiality. I am not going to show my own contract, and is an example, okay? Because this is a legal thing and is a normal thing. But being in the legal side, we can show everything, and we don't have any problem to show anything. And for us, I think that is very important that because if we have this control, the audit control with an auditor, the La Liga, our side with every single member or not a member, seeing our accounts and asking about that, and we have a channel to answer that. The Commission Economical Control, we are, if we have some kind of problem, we are, it's impossible for us to be in a problem because everything is so clear that some kind of eyes can see if we have done some kind of bad operation or whatever. Okay, so that's a problem for us. Be transparent. We need to be transparent, and that is also uh, a good thing for us, a very good thing for us, because we with that we are saying, okay, people is trusting us because every single year we have the accounts, we have the assembly, we have everything very well done, and we have 92% of transparency. So anyone can or nobody can say that they don't know about that or that or that or that. And our limit of having some kind of disaster is very limited. It's very short because the eyes of almost everyone is in this kind of accounts, and anyone can see that.
Raphael, I'd just like to bring Kieran in again on two
Okay.
things. Kieran, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the TV deal in Spain compared to the Premier League TV deal. And secondly, Osasuna, Kieran, it seems a great example for members-only clubs because we've spoken a lot about how in England there's a ceiling for members-only clubs. That you wouldn't expect a members-only club to get beyond League One normally, but yet here in Spain we see a club like Osasuna, who are club-owned, doing very well in La Liga.
Yes, I mean, if we look at those issues in turn, La Liga have hit a ceiling with regards to their ability to generate further funds from the current style of broadcast deal. Premier League had first mover advantage when La Liga, when Serie A, when the Bundesliga could have potentially, perhaps 30 years ago, tried to expand with the rise of subscription TV as we moved to satellite. They didn't. The Premier League got in first. The Premier League built up the global fan bases who are prepared to pay those subscription fees, and the Liga has been following far behind. So it is constrained. That there's also the historic problems where Rafa will no doubt know far more than I, but originally you had to negotiate your own TV deal on a club-by-club basis, which meant that if you were Real Madrid or Barcelona, you would do very well, and the other clubs were left fighting over the scraps. Now there is a full deal for the La Liga, but it was organised in such a way that the big clubs didn't receive any less money. Otherwise, they wouldn't have signed up. So it is a challenge there. One thing I do note, because our very good friend Swiss Ramble does a superb summary of individual divisions in individual leagues in Europe, is Osasuna and also a lot of other clubs who are probably of a similar size. You know, Raphael said they've got 20,000 members, so they're in that sort of 18 to 20,000 people turning up every week. There's probably about 6 or 7 other clubs who are getting similar attendances. They're all breaking even or making small losses. There's only one club which made a big loss in La Liga last year, and it began with the letter B. I won't name them.
No. I don't want to name any. It's almost Osasuna. But you are going in a good, very good direction, Kieran. I like this kind of comment because I want to answer about that.
But we do see sustainability in La Liga to a far greater extent than we do in English football. And I think it is down to a different culture whereby we don't have the trophy asset owners that we've become so accustomed to here in the UK, and therefore following the problems that not just Osasuna but many other clubs of a similar size were experiencing 10 to 12 years ago. I think the clubs act in a far more mature manner than we see domestically, because they know that there is no alternative. There's not going to be another billionaire to come in and rescue them, and that's what we've relied on in English football.
That's the key. And I want to answer to you, Kieran, because you were very, very clear and very, very. Your words were very, very smart. Okay, and I have to see 2 things about that. One thing is, over the 20 teams that we have in the first division, let's say 15th, we are fighting for the break-even point. Okay, that gave us the opportunity of, if we buy a player for 5 million euros, 7 million euros is like, whoa, who do that? And why? And why? And in which way? And that's good because and I am not going to speak on another of other clubs, but 20 years ago the spending was without any control, and that any control bring us to big cities without the club being in the first, second, or third division, with problems of the payrolls, with problems with taxes authorities. And for me, the control that the Liga does with us every single quarter, every single month, every single year is essential and is crucial, because we are what we are, and we have these two ways, because the revenue is here, so the waste can be here or here, not here, because the revenue must normally is going to be, if your expectation is here, is going to be a little bit less than that. Okay, so with that uh, idea or focus, we work month by month, and that is bringing us and the assembly says to us, okay, break even point. We need a break even point and the most competitive team with that, because we need that. We need happiness also. We are fans of Osasuna. We want that Osasuna is in the seventh position, in the, I don't know, in the 10th position, but maybe Osasuna's money capacity, let's say financial capacity, is the 15th, because we are a members owned club. So I said before, A, B, or C. Members, La Liga, and Tajonar. We don't have more than that. But that is very good, because with that control, we are not going to be in a very big danger in the future as a club. Okay. Other thing is the competitive side, where the sports direction and myself, we are fighting. I am the police again, saying that. I know, but Braulio is the head of the sports direction. Okay, Braulio, I wanted to give you 10, but it's not my fault. We have 3. We have 4. If you sell this guy, maybe we have 7. But it's what it is. Because if not, La Liga is going to say no. So it's going to be worse for us. And as a managers, we cannot allow that. But it's also true, as Kieran said in a very clever way, that we have 3 big clubs with a lot of money. 3, 4 clubs, let's say 3, and you know what teams are they? Are the 3 of them? And the rest, we are fighting with weapons like I am fighting with with weapons that are pencils, and the rest are fighting with guns. Mate, the 3 of them are fighting with guns. We cannot. We can split the La Liga in 2 different ligas. Into the 3 biggest ones for the 17th, that we are fighting with what we have, but we cannot allow us to do more than we can do, because on the future that is going to kill us, and we saw that in the past, and we are not as managers, and La Liga earned that in a very clever way. We cannot let that pass, because after that everything is lost, and that's it. And that's, I think, that Kieran said very clever words, and I wanted to answer, because it's what we have. It's not the same in English, but it's what we have.
Rafael, it's been wonderful to talk to you. I think it's very important for English football fans to look elsewhere sometimes, to find out how things work in the rest of Europe and in the rest of the world, because we get so focused on our own English league that everything's better in England, everything's bigger in England. So it's important for us to learn about the rest of the world. I would just like to ask you, though, about the future. You mentioned the future.
Yeah.
what does the future hold for Osasuna? And are you convinced that you will always remain as a members-only club? Because there's always a billionaire out there somewhere looking to buy a club in England or Spain or the top league. So are you happy that you will remain a 100% owned football club?
I will answer you in two ways. Okay, the first way, we have elections this year. Hopefully, everything is going to be like we want to be, but elections are democratical, and with that, we are going to see the next year, the next 4 years, future. Okay, and over the members own club, my answer, I am speaking about speaking like Rafa Sáenz, not like the CFO of Osasuna. I am speaking as a fan right now. Okay, for me, Osasuna is a feeling. Okay, Osasuna is a motivation for me. I go to the Sadar every single Saturday, Sunday, and whoever you ask, and he know me, he will say, okay, Rafa is nervous. Let him away right now. He's 90 minutes, but not for being because I am an employee. Because I feel the colors. I feel being Rojillo, being Osasuna. So for me, the members own club has the bad side. I say, okay, give me 2 million right now, Kieran or Kevin, and I will be happy in the finance side. That's fantastic for me. But who is Kevin? Kevin is going to bet for me on the next year. He's going to remember Osasuna. He's going to feel Osasuna. He's going to be in Pamplona. Yes or no? So for me, the answer is clear. In this like of business member-owned club, we are limited, A, B, or C. And I say again, Tajonar and our future members and whatever we can achieve from La Liga, from the revenues and the TV. But we are Osasuna, and Navarra is Osasuna, and Osasuna is Navarra. So for me, it's what I want in the future for Osasuna.
That's a fantastic, passionate way to end the interview, Rafael. Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you. And obviously, you wear red and blue. So, as a Crystal Palace fan, I'm inclined to. It
was like a thing to confuse you in the first, very beginning, so you can end in the red side.
Rafael, thank you so much. It's been brilliant. It's amazing, Kieran. How can even a Spanish person make the word EBITDA sound sexy? It's incredible. I would have thought that was impossible for anyone from any nationality, but he managed it. I thought he was fascinating, Kieran. I thought it was really interesting to hear from him. And he was honest enough about the downside to running a members-only club, but at the same time, 90% of it was upside as far as he's concerned. He's living the dream. He's an Osasuna fan looking after the finances of the club that he's clearly obsessed with.
That's right. And I've got all of the La Liga finances in front of me now.
Of course.
And there's probably a dozen clubs within sort of 15 million euro of each other. So it's actually quite competitive. And it does show that you don't need to lose money in order to have a passion. As he says, Osasuna is a feeling. What a way of describing the way that you love your football club, and to have that unique relationship. Very illuminating. I think perhaps La Liga can teach us a thing or two, because we've spent the last 3 to 4 weeks going, how much have we got to spend? Spend. If you do that, you don't necessarily improve. And I've always said that there's a big difference between change and improvement, but people just focus on change. And as Rafael said, if we've got €2 million to spend, we'll spend €2 million, because we've got 20,000 members. They can't dip into their pockets, because that's the nature of a members only club prevents that. Fascinating.
Yeah, Osasuna is a feeling. There's your tattoo, isn't it? If you're an Osasuna. Also, I love the fact He says people know not to talk to me for 90 minutes because I get so nervous during the game. Just as no, don't talk to Rafael, leave him alone. Very interesting, the transparency thing, Kieran, because he seemed quite baffled by the idea that other clubs wouldn't be as transparent as they are. Even some membership clubs aren't as transparent as they are. But also, I just love the fact, and unfortunately our listeners can't tell that. Obviously, we can see Rafael. There's nothing better for your self-esteem than two middle-aged blokes interviewing a handsome young 32-year-old Spanish fella on a Monday morning. Both of us thinking we might go on a diet. I might get a bike. I might get a bike now, Kieran. Yeah. But the fact every time you mention Real Madrid and Barcelona, he just basically laughed quite a lot because it was quite clear, as he indicated to us, that he wouldn't mention them by name because it would cause a lot of trouble for him, and rightly so. But he enjoyed the fact that you were only too happy to mention them by name.
Yes. They are a shining example of how you can be an absolutely amazing football club. And let's face it, both Real Madrid and Barcelona are incredible football clubs. But if you're living in their shadow, you have to be different. And clubs like Osasuna, with their local identity, the fact that everyone in Navarro is wearing Osasuna shirts with the names of their favourite players, and you don't see the Barcelona and Real Madrid shirts, is a testament to the success of what they've built there. And you must feel the same about when you're in South London, and and I've seen a transformation over the last 20 to 30 years living down here, but there's still too many shirts of who to deal with as well.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we should say as well, in fairness, Barcelona and Real Madrid are both 100% fan-owned clubs, but the reality of the Osasuna fan-owned experience is very different to the reality of the Barcelona-Real Madrid fan-owned experience, isn't it?
It is, yes. They are very much a local club, reflecting the viewpoints, and I'm sure Barcelona will always say, being a Catalan club, that they have fought for the Catalan people themselves. I think in recent years that they've metamorphosed into something else. And that is a function of size. You can't be local and global, or it's very difficult to be local and global at the same time.
The price of football. The price of football.